The night is quiet at Heartland Ranch. The wind brushes against the old wooden fences, carrying memories of love, loss, and promises never forgotten. But among these memories, one heart beats with a longing stronger than all the rest. Lyndy misses her father. She doesn't just miss him. The story of Heartland has always been about family, healing, and the bond between people and horses. But now in Season 19, Episode 1, the story takes a new turn. A little girl's voice will echo through the ranch, calling out for the father she never truly got to know. And that cry will shake every corner of Heartland. Asterisk, the story of Heartland has been shaped by love and loss. Borden was more than just Amy Fleming's partner. He was her rock, her soulmate, the one who made the impossible feel possible. For years, Ty stood beside Amy as they built a life filled with horses, healing, and hope. Together, they welcomed their daughter Lyndy into the world. She was the proof of their love, the bridge between past and future, and the spark that kept their hearts beating even in hard times. But Ty's story took a painful turn. His sudden absence left an empty space that no one, not even the beauty of the ranch or the closeness of family, could ever truly fill. For Amy, the loss was like losing a part of her soul. For Lyndy, it was something even harder. She grew up without the warmth of her father's arms, without the chance to hear his laughter echo in the house, without those little moments that shaped the bond between a father and his child. Still, the memory of Ty never disappeared. His name is spoken with love at the dinner table. His picture still hangs where everyone can see it. His presence is felt in the silence of the barn and the warmth of the horses that once carried him across the fields. For Amy, every ride is a reminder of him. For Lyndy, every question about Daddy opens a door to a story she desperately wants to step into as the years have passed. Lyndy has grown. She's no longer the baby in Amy's arms. She is curious, determined, and brave, just like her parents. But with that growth comes a new ache. Her heart longs for Ty, not just as a name or a picture in a frame, but as a real part of her life. She doesn't want to simply hear stories. She wants to feel him, know him, and keep him alive inside her heart in her own way. This is where Heartland Season 19 begins. The ranch is alive with new challenges, but beneath all the daily struggles lies Lyndy's need for her father. And that need will stir questions, tears, and perhaps even hope. Because sometimes the love we lose never truly leaves us. It waits quietly in the shadows of memory, ready to rise again when we need it most. Amy knows that pain too well. As a mother, she wants to protect her daughter from the heartbreak she herself has carried for so long. But she also knows that Ty's memory is not something to hide, it's something to honor. And Lyndy's determination to reach out to her father, even if only through stories and memories, may become the force that heals Amy's heart all over again. Season 19. Episode 1 is not just the start of another chapter in Heartland. It is the return of a love story through the eyes of a little girl. A love story between a daughter and the father she never got to grow up with. A story that will make fans cry, smile, and remember why Heartland is more than just a show. It's a home for every story of love, loss, and the courage to keep moving forward. Asterisk, there are questions a child should never have to ask. But at Heartland Ranch, one voice grows stronger every day, carrying questions that cut through Amy's heart like the sharpest wind. Lyndy is not a baby anymore. She is old enough to wonder. Old enough to notice the silence when the name Ty is spoken. Old enough to want more than soft smiles and quick answers every night. When the ranch grows quiet and the horses settle, Lyndy stares at the stars. She asks herself the same question. Why can't I have my dad here? It isn't anger. It isn't rebellion. It is the pure longing of a child searching for the missing piece of her story. A father she never got to truly meet, but whose presence she feels in every corner of her home. For Amy, this conflict is almost unbearable. How do you explain the weight of loss to a child? How do you tell her that her father was everything and then gone far too soon? Amy sees her daughter's eyes searching for Ty, sees her hands holding on to old pictures, hears her laughter echo through the house in ways that remind her of him. Every small gesture is a reminder. Lyndy is more like Ty than she even knows. The ranch itself holds these secrets too. Ty's old boots still rest by the door. His tools sit untouched in the barn. Sometimes Lyndy runs her tiny hands over them, as if she could pull the memory of him out of the leather, the wood, the dust. She doesn't see absence. She sees possibility. She believes in the way only a child can, that if she keeps asking, if she keeps wanting, somehow her father will return to her, and this is where the conflict truly burns. Amy wants to protect her daughter from false hope, yet she also knows that crushing Lyndy's dreams would mean silencing Ty's spirit forever. So Amy walks a line as thin as a strand of horsehair. She must balance truth and tenderness, grief and hope, reality and imagination. But the real storm brews inside Lyndy herself. She begins to push harder, ask bolder questions, demand more than stories. Why can't I ride with Daddy's horse? Why can't I hear his voice? These words sting Amy, but they also ignite something unexpected. A courage she didn't know she still had. Because in Lyndy's voice, Amy hears not just pain, but determination. The same determination that Ty carried in every fight, every trial, every healing moment at Heartland. And as Lyndy's need for her father grows, the family feels the tension ripple. Jack sees it. Lou sees it. Even the horses sense the shift. The ranch is alive, but the air is heavy with the weight of a little girl's longing. Lyndy is not content with silence anymore. She wants answers. She wants connection. She wants Ty. This is the conflict that will drive season 19 forward. A child's innocent longing colliding with a mother's silent grief. A love so powerful it refuses to fade, even in the face of loss. And as Lyndy's voice grows louder, so too does the question that will haunt every moment. What happens when the heart refuses to let go of what it never had? Asterisk, the sun rises over Heartland, but this is not the same ranch you remember. Season 19 begins with change in the air, change that feels both hopeful and haunting. The fields stretch wide and golden, the horses gallop with freedom, but beneath the beauty lies a storm. And at the center of it all is Lyndy. This season does not open with answers. It opens with questions. Questions that echo through the barn, the house, and every corner of the ranch. Who was my father really? Why do I feel him, even though he's not here? And why does it hurt more the older I get? For Amy, these questions tear open old wounds she has fought for years to heal. She knows Lyndy's journey cannot be stopped. Every child deserves to know where they come from. But as her daughter grows more determined to feel Ty's presence, Amy faces a terrifying truth. What if the past is not as far behind them as she believed? This is where the new season strikes with fresh intensity. It is not just about family. It is not just about horses. It is about a haunting. Not a ghost in shadows, but a memory so alive it feels real. Ty's presence lingers, pressing into Amy's heart, pulling at Lyndy's spirit. And as the ranch braces for new challenges, financial struggles, broken fences, the ever-changing rhythm of life, there is one battle they cannot ignore. The battle between remembering and moving forward. Season 19 is more than a continuation. It is a confrontation. Lyndy's longing for her father begins to shift the family dynamic in ways no one expected. Lou wonders if Amy is protecting Lyndy or holding her back. Jack warns that hope can be as dangerous as loss. And through it all, Amy must choose to shield her daughter with silence, or open her heart and let the story of Ty breathe again. But this is Heartland, and here silence never lasts. Every whisper of wind through the fields, every shadow at dusk, every quiet moment by the barn carries a weight that cannot be ignored. Ty may be gone, but in Lyndy's eyes, he is alive. And as she pushes harder to connect with the father she never knew, the season dares to ask, what if the bond between father and daughter can outlive time itself? This is the heartbeat of Season 19, Episode 1. It is not just a story, it is a promise. A promise that the past still matters, that love does not end, and that even the smallest voice can change everything. The ranch is ready for a new chapter, but the question remains, will this chapter bring peace, or stir the past into something no one is ready to face? The night falls over Heartland. The ranch sleeps, but Lyndy does not. She stands at the edge of the paddock, her small hands gripping the fence, her eyes locked on the stars above. In the stillness, Her voice breaks the silence. A whisper, a plea, a child's cry carried by the wind. I just want my dad. The words echo, and for a moment it feels as though the ranch itself listens. The horses stir. The night grows heavy. Amy hears it to her daughter's longing, spoken into the dark. And in that moment, Amy knows there is no running from the past anymore. This is where the trailer grips the heart. Season 19, Episode 1, is not about forgetting it, it is about remembering. It is about facing the pain that has been hidden for too long. It is about a daughter reaching for her father and a mother learning that love does not end, even when life does. But just as the family begins to open old doors, new shadows stretch across the ranch. A visitor arrives with words Amy was not ready to hear. A secret, long buried, threatens to unravel everything. Could it be that Ty's story is not finished after all? Could his name carry more than just memories? The screen fades to black. Silence. Then, the voice of Lyndy again, stronger this time. Filled with both pain and hope, I want Ty. And with that, the music rises, the tension snaps. And the screen explodes with the words, Heartland, Season 19, the story begins again. The cliffhanger lingers, haunting every fan who watches. Questions burn brighter than answers. Will Amy finally let Lyndy embrace her father's legacy? Will Lyndy's need for Ty heal the family, ear-open wounds too deep to close? And what truth lies hidden in the silence of Heartland Ranch? The answers wait in the season premiere. But one thing is certain. This time, Heartland is not just telling a story. It is carrying us into a storm of love, memory, and the unstoppable force of a child's heart that refuses to let go.